Well, we just keep getting cool guitars that are for sale, used guitars. This looks to be a Fender made in Mexico MN4. So I'm going to call this a 1994 got a little bit of foam under here. Okay, we don't need that in there. Looks like Fender branded tuners. She's dirty. She's got a lot of miles on her. A lot of dirt. If I get in here and actually look at these frets. The strings are black. This guitar is from '94, but these strings look like they're from '84. I think the frets overall look like they're in good condition, so I think it was one of those kind of guys where he had a big collection of guitars and he didn't play them very often. Maybe he had so many guitars that he didn't get around to playing them all, and they all just sat around and they were never in a case, because I bought this guitar, was not in a case. I think it came in a gig bag though, but this thing is just dirty. I do a lot of those videos where I call it a guitar resurrection, right? Where you have to take something that's just old and really gross, and you shine it up and you spend some time and you make sure that it's a good playing guitar that you know, you hope someday that you can resell this thing. Looks like it's got a lace sensor in the middle position. We got some sort of a Duncan in the bridge. You know, I'm already starting to pull the strings off of there. But let's do this. Let's plug it in. Okay. I'm hearing some 60 cycle hum in this position. Then of course you got these two. It's not in there. There's that lace sensor. And I'm not hearing it, so that maybe that's some sort of a noiseless kind of thing. And so the only time you hear the 60 cycle hum on this guitar is when you're up in this position. So our electronics are working. So that's a bonus. Okay, let's get some of these strings out of here. And yeah, what happens when your strings are in there for a long time? Sometimes you got to get in there and kind of break them loose. So I take a little Allen key, an Allen wrench, and I stick it in there and I break those babies loose. This does have the Fender branded saddles. So now, you know, we all watch Dave's World of Fun Stuff. He's the original restringer YouTuber that restrings guitars and sets them up and does all that kind of stuff. And you know what Dave would do right now? He would check out the truss rod. He would make sure the old truss rod is working. And so taking what I know from Dave, from watching Dave's World of Fun Stuff, we're going to go right ahead And if I can find the right wrench. Now, Dave, he knows the name, sizes, all these wrenches. I just got a big pile of wrenches, and I find one until I get the one that works. Okay, so they're tightened up. There it's loosening up. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to snug it back down. Okay. I'm going to say our truss rod works. So Dave's World of Fun Stuff. Thank you so much for that. We got a working truss rod. Pull the whammy bar on out of here. Okay. And then what do we do at this point? Well, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to take a shop rag. Sometimes you wonder what am I going to do to get started on this? Well, let's just get some dirt off of it. Okay, now we can kind of see what we're looking at. Okay. And because there's going to be a little bit of scratchiness in these pots, things like that, I'm going to go ahead and let's lift the pick guard. Let's see what's underneath the hood here. Okay, so what I noticed right off the bat, pulling these pick guard screws off, is we have a push-pull right here under the volume. And so let's take a look here. All right, and so I already see right here. Okay, I don't know if I can show you guys this. All right, you see the three kind of holes right here? Might be hard for you guys to see. But this is like a template for the factory to cut the pick guard or do something. This is some sort of a factory template on the Made in Mexico stuff. The USA stuff from the same 1990s only has the one in the center. So when you're looking at a body and you got these three holes right here, you know that that's made in Mexico. Yeah, so this thing, of course, this is the neck pickup that looks stock to me. This is that middle pickup that's a lace. And the lace sensor is going to the push-pull here. And there's a lot of grounding and stuff like that. Now the Seymour Duncan comes over here too. So I think maybe what's happening, my phone's ringing. But I think maybe what's happening right here is you could split, because of the red and white wire, you can split the coils on that Seymour Duncan. Okay, so just to make sure that there's no scratchiness going on, after I restring this, I'm just going to spray these potentiometers out. And we'll put a little bit down in here. And this is quick drying electronic spray cleaner. I just get that stuff at AutoZone. 5 years ago it used to be $10.99 for a bottle of that stuff, and now the last bottle that I bought was $13.99. So a little bit of inflation happening. And I spray it right on everything, and it doesn't seem like it's ever done anything to hurt the finish. And on an old guitar like this, I don't worry about it too much. I don't know if I would spray it all over a PRS 10 top or something. Okay, let's plug it back in. See if she's got any scratchiness about her. Seems fine. Okay, good. We're going to just shine on it a little bit here. So I got some Meguiar's I stuck on here. And just automotive wax is what I use a lot of times, just to polish up these old turds. This is going to be a nice one though. This is going to be a great guitar. It's already got some nice modifications that were done to it. And I don't like dirty guitars, man. I like my guitars to be shined up really good. Okay, let's do a little bit more of this on here. It says to spray it right on the rag and not straight on the guitar. I find myself a lot of times going straight onto the guitar with it. Pickguard's got a lot of scratches on it, which is unfortunate. But there's not much I can do about that because I don't want to just go and change the pickguard. Let's do the same procedure to the back. Let's use a little bit of... I got Meguiar's now. I went through a whole bottle of turtle wax over the last couple of years. And turtle wax is kind of... I don't know if the company is going out of business or what, but I didn't see much when it came to turtle wax. When the last time I was in O'Reilly's Auto or AutoZone. So turtle wax might be on its way out. I don't know. It's been around forever. I think Meguiar's is kind of taken over in the auto wax. So that's looking good. The back plate, the nut plate was looking pretty bad, but it's sort of cleaned up nicely. Mid-90s guitar, 94, you know, geez, almost 30 years old. That's the thing about guitars. 30-year-old guitar, she's just getting warmed up. A lot of life left in this thing. Okay, so I took a little bit of this sandpaper that I use. It's like 1100 grit, 1100 grit sandpaper. And I kind of shined up these frets, but I'm still going to take some of this Meguiar's polish and really shine on this thing. But it's I just had a visit from a local Phoenix celebrity. So some of you guys might know I brought the albums in here because I knew he was going to come in today. But the band that I'm in, we're recording some songs, and we're at John Aquilino's studio out here in Mesa, Arizona. And John Aquilino was the lead guitar player, rhythm guitar player in this killer 80s band called Icon. So yeah, he was just in here. He autographed the album up here. They were a great killer band. I love these guys. I'm a fanboy. He came in and he's like, you know, I spent the weekend in his studio, so we've talked for a while. But he said he would come into my shop, and so he called me yesterday. He said, yeah, I'll drop in tomorrow. So That's why I got my records out and brought them down here. But yeah, John Aquilino. We had Dan Wexler on guitar. We have John Aquilino on guitar. Stephen Clifford was their lead singer. They had great songs. John was part of the first two albums when they were on Capitol Records. And so, yeah, once in a while, man, I will get a local celebrity. Robin Wilson from the Gin Blossoms was in last week, but Icon, first two records were on Capitol Records. Eddie Kramer produced this album, and these guys were badass. Rock On Through the Night, killer song. She's a Killer Machine, great song. On Your Feet was a video. World War, great song. Hot Desert Night was tons of fun. Under My Gun just kicked butt. Iconoclast, Rock and Roll Machine, every song on here. And then they had a ballad called It's Up to You that they put as the last track. Their second album, Night of the Crime. Again, great record. Naked Eyes, Missing, beautiful ballad. Danger Calling, Shot at My Heart was a good song. Out for Blood was a kick-ass rock and roll tune. Raise the Hammer, just kick-ass. Frozen Tears, one of the best, most beautiful ballads that I remember from back in the day. Don't Fire Till You See the Whites of Their Eyes, great song. Hungry for Love, great song. Rock My Radio, great song. These dudes, I mean, I've lived in the Phoenix area since 1980, and I would go see these dudes play. And they toured a lot, so they weren't always, they weren't playing the bar scene in Phoenix. But I would, whenever I had a chance, I'd go see them play. But basically, I would listen to their music on these records and on the cassette tapes that I had. But yeah, just had a visit from John Aquilino from Icon. Just thought I'd share with you guys. Okay, it's time we put some strings on this thing. Today's string choice. And so I have Ernie Ball Super Slinky 9 through 42. My favorite guitar string. One of these days, Ernie Ball's gonna notice that I plug their strings in every video, right?
You serious?
Here we go. My little E string is the 42 gauge. This guitar shined up really good. The frets look good on it. It's got a little bit of wear and tear on the fingerboard. A couple of little dings and dents. But it is a 29-year-old guitar. And a lot of really great guitars are already 30, 40 years old and older. And I think that's one reason why people steal guitars, because they hold their value. This $400 or $500 guitar right here is going to just continue to go up in price. Ernie Ball cables, I have them here at the store. Flex Your Style. And they're plugging the new Metallica album. Wow. How cool is that? I think the new album is I've heard a little bit of it, and I have to say, they are sounding awesome. I'm a huge Metallica fan. They are kicking butt. Thank God we have rock and roll bands like that, metal bands. And you know what? I just recently watched a video, and you guys might have seen it. But Rick Beato, right? We all watch him. He's on Spotify, the top 10 Spotify hits, and he's complaining there's no guitar on any of that. All right, no guitar on Spotify. Yeah, so Rick Beato's complaining. No guitar parts on Spotify. No complicating writing process. You know, it's all 3 and 4 chord kind of things. But you know what? That's what the kids want to listen to nowadays. If the kids want to listen to metal and guitar riffs, they're not going to be on the top 10 on Spotify. They're going to be listening to the new metal albums. The new music on Spotify, it's all about lyric content. If you want to hear guitar riffs, the lyrics don't matter. It's all about the riffs. So there's so many bands now that are metal, and that's where you can hear complicated guitar music. Tons of chord progressions. There's no such thing as a 3 or 4 chord progression when you're in metal. So he's kind of, in my opinion, he's looking in the wrong spot when it comes to finding good guitar music. You don't find that on Spotify because there's millions and millions of people that don't want to hear guitar riffs. They want to hear lyric content. Okay? They want to hear pretty girls singing cool, pretty songs with great lyric content. You're not going to find that on Spotify, Rick Beato, so just stop looking on Spotify. If you want to listen to guitar riffs, I'm ranting now, but if you want to listen to guitar riffs, you have to listen to the metal bands, and there's tons of killer metal bands. Okay, I'm going to move that saddle back just a little bit. Yeah, so I hope you guys leave me a comment, if you would, about my little Rick Beato rant. Okay, he's in the wrong spot. Looking for guitar riffs. Spotify's not going to have them. Okay. Stretch it out. So the nut on this looks like it's in good shape. So that's a bonus. And we tested the truss rod. Now it's the next day. I started this video yesterday. I think it's okay if I snip these strings off of here. Alright, she's close to being in tune. Let's just see how the action feels. Wow. Yeah, wow. Nice thin neck. Seymour Duncan with a push-pull. Some sort of a noiseless lace sensor. It's shined up really good. I think I can put the back plate on it. This thing's playing great. I think I have my favorite new guitar that is just in here. Guys ask me, what's your favorite guitar in the store? And usually I say, man, I don't have a favorite guitar. I can't become fond of any of them because I'm trying to sell these things. But I like this one. It has the whole Yngwie Malmsteen vibe about it. It's got some good positive upgrades that have been done to it. Sometimes guys will upgrade things, and it was maybe better to just leave the guitar alone and leave it stock. But I kind of like the upgrades that was done to this guitar. Little bit of couple little dents here and there on the fretboard itself, but the frets seem like they're in good shape overall, and it plays really good just with a basic restring. I didn't do anything to those saddles. The saddles didn't need adjusted. Everything on it looks real nice. Could have been cleaned a little bit better down in here. She's a little bit dirty down in there. But yeah, this is a nice one, man. This is a really nice one. I like it. My new favorite Strat that's in the shop right now. But there you guys go. Thank you for watching. Everybody have a great day. Go buy yourself an old 90s made in Mexico Strat. You won't regret it. See you guys in the next video.